are praising retired Justice Dikgang Mose-neke. They're applauding his efforts to ensure Lesotho's stakeholders recommit to SADC Reform Process. President Ramaphosa visited Lesotho yesterday, holding bilateral talks and boosting relations between the two countries.
This is the first visit for President Ramaphosa since assuming the highest office in South Africa. First stop was at the Royal Palace in Maseru, paying a courtesy visit to His Majesty King Lesia III. Then a bilateral meeting with the head of government, Prime Minister Tom Tha-bane.
We are very excited that Lesotho, a geographic enclave of South Africa, has had a problem that was internal to Lesotho solved by a citizen of South Africa. These things are done by men and women of goodwill. And I'm standing here to say my thanks to God and my thanks to the people who have, as men and women, come to Lesotho to help us get out of what was looking like a bit of an interminable problem.
Lesotho has always been in need of the reforms. Everybody has agreed to that. Security reforms, public service reforms, media reforms, governance reforms, constitutional reforms. And today, it's a really outstanding day that all parties have agreed and embraced the notion of moving ahead with these reforms. And this solves the problem that SADC was dealing with over all these years. So when we go to the SADC summit with the Prime Minister, we'll be able to report that through the efforts of Justice Dikgang Mose-neke, the facilitation process that I was also asked to lead, we've been able to help Basotho to finally come to their own homemade solutions, solutions that they have crafted themselves to address the challenges of instability and lack of reform that prevailed in this country.
A long journey by both President Ramaphosa and retired Justice Dikgang Mose-neke has finally yielded results that will firmly put Lesotho into a path of lasting peace and stability. But the Prime Minister is not off the hook yet.
No, the motion of no confidence will be there in Parliament, but we will prioritize the enactment of these structures pertaining to reforms. But we cannot hold the country's democracy at ransom because of reforms.
The structure is a kind of an insulation to the process. So whether the government, the current regime is there or not, then the process will be saved.
Every time we talk about going forward, we always talk about the politics of the 1950s. We always talk about politics of 1970, 1975. When are we going to let history be a reference point only, not a noose that hangs us to a point where we can't even move forward?
Ahead of SADC summit in Tanzania, President Ramaphosa and Prime Minister can count on a positive progress made in steering troubled mountain kingdom of Lesotho to lasting peace and stability. Rapeleng Khatebe, SABC News, Maseru, Lesotho.